Snow drifts softly onto pastel streets we know and love. All around, the sky shifts as darkness gives way into the loving arms of dawn. There's music in the air as the hopes and possibility of something new settles on our shoulders. It's that special time of day, and we are facing the world with one foot in the past and one stepping forward to the future. Good morning, everyone. How are you all doing? Yeah, let's start there. How are you? It's been a long and stressful year, but we've made it through once again. Despite everything that's happened, the sun rises, the city returns to normal, and we all survive to see another day. I think that's the important part. And with that being said, hello! My name is Marina, and I'm the host for your commute on this lovely winter morning. I'm filling in for your regular host, Rex Adams, who's currently taking some well-deserved time off. He did a fantastic and honestly exhausting job keeping all of the radio programs going during that time that everyone else was predisposed. So now that I'm back here, and I's back, he's off on a special vacation all his own, down by the ocean. According to him, he has some unfinished business to address, things that he didn't do the first time around. He was holding hands with some guy that I think I saw at that Italian food place I tried a couple weeks back. And they were all smiling and lovingly looking into each other's eyes, so yeah. I'm not sure what it means, but good for him, I guess. Rex, if you're listening, I hope you enjoy your break. I hope it all goes well and you do whatever you need to do. I'll be here to keep things down until you get back. Now then, with that being said, why don't we take a look at the news? After what's been lovingly called the Shadowpocalypse, the city has finally returned to some state of normal once again. Well, about as normal as we can have it here. Shadows are no longer stalking the streets, looking for victims to terrorize. Buildings have returned to a normal, hospitable shape, and the sky, well, look for yourselves. The dawn is radiant and pastel, bright and colorful like watercolor. We have our sky back. Life is returning to normal. That being said, it seems our city looks a little different than it did before. Streets have changed, buildings are different, placement is all over. I mean, Della's Bakery, for one, has moved to the other side of the city. I don't mean to complain about it, it's just when I went to go get my snack break from work, it wasn't there. And it's fine, there's other places I could go, but sometimes I just really want my carrot cake, and it's not there. But it's fine. It's fine. I'm fine without it. Della moved because apparently her business is expanding and she needed a bigger location. So yeah, it's great. It's wonderful. It's fine. I'm glad Della's business is doing so well that she's able to upgrade the operation. even if it means that I can't slip out during commercial break and get my flippin' carrot cake at 2 a.m. Oh well. All across, everyone is feeling the new changes and are confused, just as much as I was. Willow Way is no longer the fun social street it used to be. It now has a giant ice skating rink and a bunch of music stores for some reason. The religious district has been broken up and scattered. There's now multiple churches, synagogues, and decrepit old waffle houses that have been renovated into something new, scattered across the city. I'm guessing this has to do with keeping everyone from fighting each other, but who's to say? Not me. I just want my carrot cake. And well, there's also Old Town. I don't know if we can call it old anymore. Everything has been renovated, modified, and honestly, restored to the point where I dare say it's the nicest part of the city. It's an interesting fusion of vintage architecture and modern comforts. You can walk down the road and see the history of the city unfold in colorful and comfortable ways, all while also getting a decent deal at Blockbuster and a pretty good place to get bagels. I'm considering moving there. I mean, it's a nice enough place. And the chic ghosts that are hovering there are super jazzed about this development. There's apparently a block party being planned later on this month. I don't know how that's gonna go since none of the ghosts really talk, but we'll announce the details once we have them. In other news, there's been an update to the leadership of our city. As many of you know, our most recent election was something. For some reason, I was chosen to be mayor of the city. However, I don't think that should count. I mean, I wasn't on the ballot for one thing, and also I wasn't really even in the city during that entire process. So, yeah. They asked me if I wanted to keep the job or the chair or anything, but I don't really want to be a mayor. It honestly doesn't sound that fun. Just a lot of paperwork, meetings, emails, meetings that should have been emails, emails that should have been meetings, zone planning. And it's not really my thing. So I've relinquished the title of mayor and instead handed it off to the next runner-up on the election ballot, which was, in fact, Darian. That's right, despite being an adorable little garbage bear that doesn't know how to drive a car, our baby boy is somehow a public servant. How he managed to pull this off, I don't know, but I'm proud. He was a big help to get all the other raccoons to organize the parole decorations over the city last month. It took a lot of work to get those stars up, and I'm sure those leadership skills will come in handy over his time in office. Now, some of you, upon hearing this, may be wondering what's going to happen with us over here at the station. Raccoons are a big part of our staff, after all, at 87.7 FM. And Darian is especially someone I rely heavily on for the night show. Well, don't worry, because I'm proud to announce that Darian's former messenger position has been filled. Over the last year, he's worked very hard to train his replacement. And now, that replacement is ready to step up and take over. Intern Mike, now being dubbed regular staff guy Mike, is stepping up as Darian's successor. He may not be much of a garbage bear, but he's good at answering emails, checking social media, and most importantly, running through the streets to collect all the letters and messages from all of you out there. So much is changing in not a lot of time. But you know what? It feels good, in a way. I feel like we finally broke through something that's been holding everyone down for such a long while. It's good, right? Well, mostly. Never mind. It doesn't matter. It'll probably come up later in some overly elaborate poem anyway. Let's just put a pin in it. And instead, let's take a look at traffic. It's snowing outside. Gentle flakes of white drift down from a bright and radiant sky. All that once held us down is buried beneath a beautiful blanket. The world is boldly born once again. A winter wonder wills a whirling change with chilling charm. It's a new day. The slate is clear, so make something worth looking at. You've survived every day that you've lived up to this point. Despite the highs that you've seen, or the lows that you've endured, you're here. You are here. It's snowing outside. Gentle flakes of white drift down from a bright and radiant sky. All that once held us down is buried beneath a beautiful blanket. It's a new day. The slate is clear. So make something worth looking at. And you might as well take your time making something new because it's chaos out there. A newly redesigned city means new roads, new train and tram routes, and hundreds of confused commuters trying to make sense of it all. For now, the best advice I can give is to just stay home if you can. We're all trying to get used to this new system, and well, there's no need to rush into it all at once. So yeah, best of luck. Most of the missing people of the last few months have been found. That's good, of course. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to sound as sad as I did there. I'm back, after all. The Hobby Lobby workers are back. And I is back. She's here and living her best life. Right now, she's currently with me as my producer, which I really appreciate, especially since disappointments happen. She's really stepped up and she's doing an amazing job. And also, she's working on publishing her first book. Apparently, enough people loved her Garfield slashfic that she's reworking it into a full-length novel. It's really exciting for her, and yeah, I's doing great now. Just like everyone else. Everyone I feel has just found their stride, their spot, and they're doing so many big things. I'm sorry if I seem a little out of sorts. I mean, we're just getting back to a new city, surviving so much, and, well, it's an adjustment. I mean, I bet we're all feeling a little disoriented. People are starting new lives, experiencing new things, rooting out the stuff that held them back, and everything. Everything is changing in this little home of ours. But me. I'm still here. At the station. Living in an apartment and being surrounded by a bunch of people I thought I could trust. I thought were my friends, only to find that they don't really care about me or my thoughts. despite everything I have to say. It seems that everyone else is moving on to bigger and better things, but not me. No, I don't know. Everything is so different now, and yet for some reason, I just feel stuck. I don't know. Maybe I'm being ungrateful. I mean, I did just spend the entire last year not really being sure if I was dead or not, so I should be a little more patient. I don't know. I feel a little weird. It's like there's this imaginary path in front of me, and everyone else is miles ahead, racing down step by step. And me, I'm still drawing circles at the beginning, trying to figure out how to move. It leaves me feeling a little restless. I feel like I'm supposed to be doing something big right now. But what? Let's move on. I have a classified section on the desk, so let's take a look. For sale, wooden boat, slightly used. Wanted, ripe bananas, slightly bruised. Hiring, workers with charm and a friendly smile. Seeking, a familiar scent that lingers a while. Finding, a pastel morning in the light of the dawn. Missing, a feeling of comfort that you haven't felt in so long. Searching for hope in a place that is new. Taking some time to understand you. I met an interesting guy in line at the dry cleaners the other day. I don't mean this in a romantic sort of way or anything like that. I'm very much not that type of person at all. No, what I mean is that I met someone who seemed interesting to talk to. And he was. Interesting, I mean. He was a taller guy, thick glasses, washed out blue eyes, holding an old dark coat on a hanger to be cleaned. It seemed to be the only jacket he had, and so I just had to ask if he was cold. We are in the winter months after all, and this January has been biting. This man only laughed and told me that the cold didn't bother him much. I've spent a decent share of time in cold and foggy places, so I'm used to it by now, he said. And besides, it feels nice to feel something that isn't muggy for once. We talked for a little bit about life, the city, and all the fun places to shop for sweaters. Apparently, my new friend is trying really hard to expand his wardrobe and change things up. He said he's tired of wearing the same dark coat, the same red beanie, and all the rest of whatever he meant by that. It was time for a change. Time for something new. He looked like a tired guy. Like he'd lived through some hard things, which is understandable. We've all lived through hard things, especially recently. But I don't know. There was a spark of something else in those eyes. And seeing that in him, well, I guess I got a little jealous. Maybe that's my problem. Coming to the city was my big chance to shake things up and try something new, and yet I'm in a rut. I think I've been in a rut for a while now. I don't know how to fix that. For now, let's push that aside and take a look at the weather. It's an endless stream as everything changes. The old slowly gives way to something new. Life feels a bit jarring as it all rearranges. You feel out of place in friendly exchanges, suddenly uncertain of just what to do. It's an endless stream as everything changes. A place that was home now feels the strangest. It's nothing at all like the place you once knew. Life feels a bit jarring as it all rearranges. Time and weather level out the greatest of ranges. Nothing seems to last under weathering's bitter rule. It's an endless stream as everything changes. Alienated and lost in the war that time wages. Everyone's moving on and just leaving you. Life feels a bit jarring as it all rearranges. The world leaves you trapped in limited cages. No changes or turns can help you push through. It's an endless stream as everything changes. Life feels a bit jarring as it all rearranges. Well, that's something to think about. Not super helpful with weather, but just look outside. It's snowing. It's cold. The grounds are slippery, so deal with it. Yeah. I think that's all I can say about the weather. If you're going out, bundle up. And as for me, let's take a break. The ads need to play, and I need to think about a few things.
The world keeps turning. Time moves on like a river. Hold on to what's there. There's a lot of things to think about this time of year, a lot of worries to face. Doesn't it help to have a familiar little piece of yesteryear to get you through it? Spookies, VHS tapes. We're here, we're queer, and we're bringing all your video, mixtape, and analog media needs. Find us in Old Town, by the park where all the ghosts hang out. Not the one with the mushrooms. Those guys freak me out. There's no need to fear. The future comes slowly here. Enjoy the moments. Spooky's VHS tapes. Mention this ad for a free hug from Daryl. He's the sheet ghost that stands by our counter, making all the popcorn. I'm not quite sure how he does it, but he does it. You should stop by. He's a nice guy. Great listener. Hasn't said much of anything, but when do we ever? Spooky's VHS tapes. Ask for Del. I'll be waiting. See you lovely soon.
I used to think I was something special. Sure, I know that everyone says that at some point or another. But I honestly meant it with my whole heart. There was something inside me, something great, and that special something was going to leak out into the world and turn me into someone. The world was going to reach out a hand, and then everything would fall into place. I was going to be the girl. It was going to be amazing. All the lonely hours and hard nights and everything else that I've had to give up would suddenly be worth it. It wouldn't matter what I had gone through. It wouldn't matter what I've had to put up with. I was special. And all of the rest of it meant something in the end. So I waited. I spent so much of my life waiting for that moment to come, for the universe to finally reward me and make me the special person I was always meant to be. And then it didn't come. And I found myself locked in a life I really didn't want to live. Do you know what it feels like when you're stuck? Do you know what it feels like to be trapped, to look around the room and realize you're staring down the preparations for a wedding you never wanted anything to do with? To realize you're staring down a man you could never love in the way he wants you to? I thought my special moment came when I ran away from all of that. I thought it came when I found this city, when I found this job, when I was surrounded by a bunch of incredible people in this magical place. I mean, how couldn't it be? I saved Blaine from some weird door demon. I got magic eye powers. Things were going so much better. I was finally being the main character. And then instead, I ended up locked in a room in some supernatural sort of memory dimension for nearly an entire year. And nobody noticed I was gone. Nobody even noticed I was gone. And well, after that, it gives you so much time to think about yourself. And yeah, I don't regret anything that I did with running away from Lucien, from the world, or coming here to this city. It's been so wonderful. And there's been so much that's happened. And after spending all that time alone and ignored, I had time to think. I used to think with all my heart that I was going to be something special, that all these hijinks were leading up to something. But it was all a distraction. Just me playing sidekick to some deranged teenager who really, really doesn't know how to care about people. I was focusing so much energy at that, I didn't look at myself. I didn't look at the truth. Because the truth is, I don't really know who I am. I don't know what my goals are, what my dreams, or anything, really. So much of my time has been spent running around for other people, trying to be supportive, trying to keep everyone going, only ever enjoying small little pieces of shallow things. And it's been nice, but it's been bad. I never took the time to figure myself out. And I think that's why I feel stuck. I think that's why I feel as weird as I do. Everyone else is moving forward with big and amazing things. And I don't even have a direction to move in. But I guess that's the first step. I have a lot more to learn about myself. It's terrifying. But I can't put it off. Not anymore. So, yeah. Big life goals, big hopes, and dreams, and plans, and discovery. I think I'm going to get my hair cut after this. It's gotten pretty long over the last few months, and it's been a bit of a bother to deal with, honestly. My hair is naturally pretty thick, and that means it's heavy, and when it gets to a certain length, it just gets suffocating. So, I'm a little overdue for a trim, but maybe it's time we go a little further than that. Liz Allen just opened up a salon down the block where Gella's Bakery used to be. I know this because when I went in at 2 a.m. for my cake, Instead, there was a bunch of chairs, a DDR machine, and a very confused Liz staring at me with a pair of scissors. She seems nice enough, so I think once we're done here, I'll stop by and let her have her way with my hair. Maybe add some color back into it. The pink's faded by now, and I need something. Will it look good? Who knows? But it's a start. Change doesn't have to hit all at once, right? I hope so. It's a journey, and it's something I want to take my time with. Anyways, the really scary afternoon lady is banging on the door for me to wrap things up. So I guess for now, I'll just leave you with a poem. Bright is the dawn that brings a day. Bright is the future to come. Vast are the choices that follow its wake. Vast is the fear of all that is done. Long was the night that loomed overhead. Long was the comfort your heart held dear. Hard were the feelings that filled you with dread. Hard was the struggle that filled you with fear. Strange is the light of the rising sun. Strange is that feeling in your chest. New are the rush of hope as the dawn has begun. New are the paths that seem not to rest. A new dawn is rising with all of its meaning. The darkness you once knew, now finally receding. Thank you so much for letting me crash your morning show today. The past is ending, future is here. Happy New Year, everyone. I hope you all are finding new and exciting opportunities. And I hope when the future finds you, it's kind and gentle. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. And until next time, this is Marina Gomez, signing out.
Dream Girl City is a production by N.J. Schulze. It was written, produced, and acted by N.J. Schulze. The poems for here today were Bright Dawn Rises and Existential Ennui, number 1. Have a question? Have a comment? Want to talk about how this season went? Email this and more at DreamGirlCityRadio@gmail.com or check us out on social media. If you like supporting us, please consider rate and reviewing our podcast wherever you listen to us and sharing us with a friend. We grow and expand by word of mouth, and any support is appreciated. Thank you so much for sticking with us through a very interesting season. This has been a really weird year, but I'm glad that we all made it through to the end. You can expect the season retrospective to come within the next couple of weeks, and believe me, it's going to be a doozy. This was a very big year of transitions and changes, and a lot of big personal ambitious things for me. But none of that would have been possible if it wasn't for all of the amazing support that I get from all of you listening day in, day out, theorizing, sending raccoon memes. So, thank you so much. I don't know what comes next, but I do know it's going to be interesting. Until then, just remember, nighttime is rising. The changes will be surprising.